In this life, we gotta go through some things. We gotta go through some trials. We gotta go through some pain. We gotta go through some storms. We gotta go through some rain. This world can drive you insane, but I thank God for everything. I thank God for my life and the sins He's forgiven. Can never ever forget when I was pregnant in prison, when I was down on my luck for making terrible decisions. He had it all worked out. He had a beautiful vision. I thank God every day. Good morning, beautiful people. Word of Rapid coming to you with the word of the day. I wanted to get back on speaking on verses related to the power of God, because honestly, I feel like there's some people out there, just based on what's going on in today's world, that are putting caps or limits on what God is able to do, or trying to put caps or limits on what God is able to do. And I can't stress this enough. Me being a believer and actively walking with Christ, I can't stress enough how limitless God is and how able God is. And like I always say, God is a way maker. God is able. And with that being said, the word of the day, Ephesians 3:20, God is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the power that works in us. And I'm going to say it again. God is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the power that works in us. This verse highlights the limitless power of God. Limitless power that is available through believers to accomplish great things, to accomplish anything, to accomplish all things through Christ. This verse also represents a verse of power, encouragement for prayer, and a source of hope. A source of hope for people facing challenging situations. Hey, I know I'm not the only one going through some challenging times and challenging situations out there. So this is a reminder of God's limitless and massive ability to work in our lives, okay? This verse connects God's ability to His power that is at work within us. God is so powerful. If you only believe and allow God to be God and don't put caps or limits on what God can do. God is omnipotent, God is able, and God can do far more than what we can possibly imagine. This is the power to accomplish far beyond human capability, empowered by the force that is active within believers, okay? Exceedingly means to a very great degree, extremely, or to an unusual extent. Abundantly means plentiful, generously, extensively, exceedingly abundantly. I don't think it gets more powerful than that when it comes to describing what God is able to do in our lives, okay? And it's also, I'm going to wrap up by saying this verse is an encouragement for prayer. This verse serves as an encouragement to trust in God's ability to answer prayers and meet needs, okay? Even those that are difficult to imagine or articulate, okay? I know we're going through some hard times out here, but we got to trust in God and believe and remember that God is able and God can do, the impossible, okay? God is limitless. God is a way maker. And I want you guys to take this stand on it and know that I love you. God loves you more. Word of Rap, and I'm out. So just to let the world know about this guy, this is the guy that has him and his partner Jersey Doll afforded me this opportunity to be a part of this platform. Initially a part of the Mental Margarita platform, which is represents so many great, positive, wonderful things. And I fell in love with the idea. It was just the title of the show before I even knew what the show was about. I'm gonna be honest with you, having dealing with mental illness myself. I'm a big advocate for, pushing just getting help for those, in need. So before I even knew about the show Mental Margarita, and then when I was just like, wow, I want to know, I would love to be a part of this movement. And so this guy, Sly Cat, I was at a hotel leaving, I was on a work trip, and my inbox went off, and everybody that knows me, I do not respond via Facebook Messenger because I get hit with so many offers, and you'll be surprised and everything. But something about that timing, and I responded back. My partner said, "Hey, respond back," and so I responded back. He was very well spoken, very thorough, and everything. Hey. I think I put out the I don't even know what song it was. Might have been the "Watch Me" song, and that's kind of how we kind of we hit it off from there. And then from there, this guy has offered me so many Opportunities that just be, I just could not turn down the opportunities, even on top of opportunities I've been presented. And that's just kind of like a little backdrop of where from there. So I came in as a special guest on the show, a halftime show, I believe. And then he said, hey, we want you to do a word of the day, and we will give you your own segment called Level Up with Roy the Rapper. So I started doing just inspirational word of the days, just focusing on scriptures that can
That's right.
uplift people. And then from there, fast forward, it turned into an opportunity to host my own show. And I've been doing music for a long time, but show business is something kind of new to me. But now I know it's just a calling from God, and just God just allowed this guy and his partner to be that that vehicle for me to get to this point in this platform. So I got to start off by saying thank you. I really appreciate you guys, the opportunity. I appreciate where we're going with this show, All Things Through
Thank
Christ.
you.
And I appreciate where we're going and where we, whether for right now and in the future, where we have, cooking. Yep.
Yeah, we got a lot cooking.
We got a lot cooking. So just I want to tell the world about this guy. He has a heck of a bio. He's been in the music game for, and I know it's been 20 years for me. How long has it been for you altogether?
Uh, Probably it's been over 20.
Okay,
Let's
over
say
20. And I'm gonna
yeah.
just read just straight reading just some bio because I don't want everybody to know these things about this guy. Sly Cat, born in Miami, Florida, started his career with superstar hip hop Grammy producers Cool and Dre. Cool
Yes.
and Dre, and we all anybody in the hip hop game know Cool and Dre. That's awesome. Produced many hits, including Hate or Love It, featuring the Game and 50 Cent, as well as Fat Joe's smash hit All the Way Up. Did not know that. Sly Cat discovered Miami's female hip hop artist Havana, wrote the lyrics for her entire first album, produced by Cool and Dre, making her LA Reid's first signing to Arista Records in 2000 for a $1.5 million deal. That's major. So ghostwriter, CEO,
That's
producer,
right.
director, artist, serial entrepreneur, songwriter, ghostwriter. Just like you got on the New York Cat, like it's like, hey, I know we speak to a lot of people that wear many hats, but you definitely wear many hats as well. First indie hip hop artist in Las Vegas to to host a hip hop showcase in a major casino. Inside the Hard Rock Casino, Rio's. I've been to Rio's one time. Voodoo's Lounge, House of Blues, and McFadden's, to name a few. Got some music out there, some videos out there. I actually watch a couple of those videos, man. I love it. I'm a fan of your work. I'm definitely a fan of your
Thank you
work.
so much. I'm a
Y'all
fan of
gotta look up.
yours.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. You guys got to look this up. Sly Cat's "I'm So Lucky" video received heavy rotation in the Eye Candy Lounge inside the famous Las Vegas Mandalay Bay Casino and created an internet frenzy. Independent single "Have It All" dominated the radio stations in Las Vegas as well as buzz throughout the United States and college radio. I mean, there's some major stuff here, major stuff. Sly Cat has been predicted by various local publications to become the first up and coming major hip hop superstar to come out of Las Vegas. Okay, so you started in Miami, kind of made your way to Las Vegas, and a lot of things happened from there. We got a lot in common. I'm gonna skip before I'm gonna tell the world some more. You took a hiatus like I did. You went through depression and overcame that like I did, and so that's what makes you. I know you're a chosen one, just like I am, just from knowing that alone. And being in the game and opening up, being a vessel to open up the doors for many people. And per the Mental Margarita show, okay. Sly Cat was
Absolutely.
noted in XXL magazine as a player to watch, and in the Source magazine's prestigious unsigned hype section. Hit number 41 on the Billboard charts with single "Salute." Is that "Salute"? Uh,
Salute.
Salute
Yeah.
without a distribution deal. That's awesome. Without a distribution deal, hey, that's awesome. Um, Independent single "Hotel Cloud 9" featuring Josh O'Connor made music choice hit list. Um, you know, it's just so much. I feel like if I just can continue reading all this stuff and the things that you've done, it'll probably take up the whole 30 minutes. But I
Yeah,
just want to
I think that's yeah. I definitely think that's good enough because
Okay. But let me say
one
this
thing.
also. I want to say, oh,
Go
go
ahead,
ahead.
go
I'm
ahead,
sorry.
go ahead.
Sly Cat's independent album release, Bargaining Power, received rave reviews and strong support on the internet and on the street. So now you're CEO of your music label, City Kids Enterprise. Work with Bougie Banton, Inner Circle, Chameleonaire, Lil Wayne, The Game, Pitbull, Rick Ross, and more. Oh man, what haven't you done? That's my question. Goodness, what? Yeah, what haven't you done? That's the question that I want to start off with.
You're funny, brother.
Yes, 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 it's awesome. And also most recently collaborated with Alan Vega Estate to do a unique new unreleased album of Witness Protection. This album pays homage to the late iconic Alan Vega and blends genres to sonically breaks barriers. And also I want to get into so now because I know we communicate and via text you say da da. I never knew what that meant. Da 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 da. Now I know that's Stardust. If I'm not mistaken, right? The
Yeah,
song
that's
that
it.
you and Jersey Doll put
Yeah,
together. So I want to say this before we get and then we're gonna jump into everything. Sly Cat's highly anticipated unreleased new solo album, Champagne It is inspired by Sly Cat's observations and adventures in Sin City and features many tracks right for sync listening, including Hit the Gym, envisioned as a theme song for Jim Beam and Stardust, which is a classic anthem for Las Vegas. Salute, salute, salute.
salute, salute, salute to you.
Thank you.
Oh man, and you know what? All those things that you said couldn't accomplish any of them without God.
Amen. Without God, and you know what? I can tell you that you're definitely a man of God because you have a vision, and I see, and I know that I told you this that I love your ideas. You have so many creative ideas and so many visions, which kind of gets. I'm going to get to that point. One of the visions that just open my eyes, and I'm gonna fast forward and go ahead and get there because I know we're going to get into it because I'm definitely want to ask you a few more questions. So I digged a little deep into your personal life, and I found out you grew up without a father. So I just want to kind of start there, because some men come out, turn out to be kind of different, coming up without a father. So growing up in Miami without a father. What was the first moment you realized hip hop wasn't just music; it was going to be your lifeline?
Well, the music really hit me at a very young age.
9 years old, right?
Yeah, at 9.
Right. That's awesome.
It hit me at a young age, and just like music is for a lot of other people, it was a way of escaping a lot of things.
Awesome.
And hip hop at the time was that was the thing, right? It
The
just it
thing.
was it was it was formulating, and it was really starting to grow legs, and it was exciting. You're an inner city kid, and now you're looking at these superheroes that are doing this new genre of music, and they look like you and they talk like you and they
Yeah,
got the same similar backgrounds,
yeah,
and it made you feel like, man, I want to do this.
exactly, man.
So those were really, honestly and truthfully, and I tell this to a lot of people, but me growing up, listening to hip hop music, a lot of those artists, I mean, the ones that were really good and had a positive message, those were my father figures.
There you go. There you go. And man, that's you know what? Hey, then you got a lot of people to look up to right there. So I know that kind of filled in the gap for you, and I'm happy that you
Right, right.
that it filled that gap in for you. Um, you know, and so Miami, that's where you're from. Was it born and bred, or just is that where you're just from?
Yeah, born and raised,
Okay.
born and
So
raised in Miami.
And Miami is known for energy, struggle, rhythm, and resilience, which you definitely, have the resilience there. What pieces of that city live inside your music today?
I would say peace, right? Because growing up in Miami, it's there's a lot of challenges, when you're growing up in certain neighborhoods, certain parts of Miami. Uh, but as you get older and as you evolve, you know, you want to you want to grow away from all that.
There you go.
So my music now is me growing away from all that.
Yeah,
It's positive, it's real peaceful. Um, and that's just what that makes me feel comfortable, and that's how I like my music to be. I want it to be something that when people actually listen to it, they can feel good.
there
Because
you
there's enough
go.
stuff. There's so many things that we can feel bad about.
Oh yeah, oh man, you know what? Yeah, I totally agree with that, man. And that's awesome. He's just very very creative, and and I was kind of reading into or listening to a little bit more about you. So you're a fan of rock and roll. I guess if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
We kind of share that in common as well. So you were the first artist ever to rap on a Cool and Dre beat. Is that correct? Did I read that
that
right?
is, yeah, that's correct.
Oh man. So what did that moment feel like, knowing history was being made?
Well, you know what? At that time, we didn't know history was being made.
Exactly. Right.
We
That's
were
what makes
just
it better.
we were some guys that wanted to do stuff in music. And when I got a chance to meet Cool and Dre, I was just graduating high school.
Oh,
And we really just bonded as brothers. And one day I was selling T-shirts at the time. I had like a little clothesline, so I
oh,
worked this
cool.
little job, and I would bring like a book bag of all these T-shirts, and I would sell them to all my coworkers. You know,
Hustler.
I was a little hustler,
Yeah.
but that really inspired Cool and Dre. And they were like, "Man, you and your boy," because I had another partner of mine named Hamir, who's the co-founder of City Kids Enterprise. Rest in peace.
Okay. Yeah, I
Uh,
saw that. Rest in peace. Absolutely.
yeah, that's my brother.
Hmm.
But Cool and Dre would see us doing this stuff, and it started to become like a brotherly competition where they were like, "Well, we need to start something," and so they started producing and making music,
Oh
and
wow.
it was the best thing that they could have ever done.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So you was there for at the beginning of their career. That's awesome. Wow.
yeah,
Oh
it
man.
was phenomenal,
Man, that's
phenomenal time.
awesome. Oh man, so I'm pretty sure that they imprinted a lot on you. Grammy winning producers, which is Cool and Dre. You just answered the question I was going to ask. How did that relationship form? You know, um, so as a rapper, songer, and ghostwriter, because you was a ghostwriter for a couple artists. I know Havana was one. So you wrote her whole album.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome. That's dope. Because I'm a songwriter as well, singer songwriter. Rapper, and it's not easy. Writer's block is a real thing. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what you was going through when you took the 5 years off, because I took some years off and just dealing with life and kind of going through writer's block. So okay, I feel like when we're writing, it's something that has to come from us from a higher power. And I,
Yeah.
me personally, God gives me downloads, and I get, inspired spiritually, and I get and start writing there. So, um, you know, eh, how do you decide what words belong to you and what words you give away to shape someone else's success?
Wow. That's a good question.
Yeah,
You know, I think that whenever I'm writing a project for someone, I have to really get a feel for who they are.
there you go. You got
You
to.
know, and
Yeah,
I think that's the best way to go about it. Like you got to get a feel for who they are, and what are some of the things that they really like.
There you
What do
go.
they enjoy? I want to know everything. I want to know, if it's for a female artist, I want to know what perfume you use. I want to
Oh,
know, you know what I mean? Like,
there you go.
I want to know all the personal stuff that you're willing to tell me, because I think that when you're writing for someone, you want to make it as personal as possible for that
Yeah,
person, so that way when they deliver it, there's a
yeah,
comfortability there. You know what I mean?
yeah. That's a great answer. I love that answer right there.
And I want to
Um,
say something. I want to say one thing, because Havana, she was so amazing at taking whatever was written and bringing it to life. Because
awesome.
a lot of times you can write for an artist and they don't necessarily bring it to life.
Yeah.
She
You
was
got to have
really
the
good at bringing it
energy.
to life.
Yeah, it's a certain level of energy that you have to have, and me myself, all my music I wrote. I've never, you know, wrote from delivered or rap from the words of others. So I can imagine, the energy that you got to have to be able to do that. So, but you
Right.
providing that energy, that's the talent right there. Which is stuff. So I want to kind of get into your artistry, albums, and the evolution. I'm gonna ask you this, Sly Cat. I don't think I found out how you got your name, or I want to be clear how you got your name, Sly Cat.
Well, I always have my hand in a cookie jar. You
Okay.
know? Let's just say that. But
Okay.
I was a very introverted kid growing up. I observed a lot of stuff. I kept to myself. I used to always have my headphones on and stuff like that. So I think my mother named me a little bit of that. But I also think that I was very intrigued by like jazz artists, jazz
Yeah.
singers,
Mhm.
composers. It was like a different language. So back in those times, a lot of those jazz artists, they were called cats.
Oh wow.
You're a cool cat. And so the slide became a thing as well, not in a negative way, but in a just cool, chill way. Always
Okay.
thinking of something, and not being the loudest one in the room, which is
Awesome.
normally the weakest.
Yeah, there you go. You're right. You got a point there. And thank you for that answer. Because some people look at the word slide and say, oh, hold on, might look a little like, oh, I don't know. But
Yeah,
you never gave me any kind of negative vibes as far as even your artist name is very unique. So you have some projects, and one of them is called Nine Lives, Six Samples. I'm guessing is the Nine Lives a part of the cat part of your artist name? Because that's the only thing, the first thing I thought of. And Champagne it is, which has been unreleased, correct?
right.
Okay.
Well, Nine
Um,
Lives and Six Samples, that was my first album
first
um,
album.
that I did as a solo artist.
Okay.
Um, and because I was in a group as a kid, and that's a whole nother chapter of my life that's not even on the bio.
Okay.
But but Nine Lives and Six Samples, basically what it was is, yeah, we were playing on the Nine Lives because Sly Cat Nine Lives, but also we had 9 songs that were produced with live instruments, and
Oh
then we
wow.
had 6 songs that were samples.
Oh, that's
So that's
awesome.
that's the Nine Lives, Six Samples. Yeah.
Okay. So each have unique energy, okay? Let me ask you
All
that.
that was produced by Cool and Dre too, Royal.
Really?
Yeah, that
I
was
had
their
no
first.
idea.
That was the first album that they did.
Okay, wow, I had no idea. That's commendable there, Hey,
Yeah,
that's awesome. I'm gonna have to say it like I said. Can you say that louder for the people in the back? Did you say that it was produced by Cool and Dre?
produced by Cool and Dre, and you know what? I, I
Awesome.
I I remember that when we were making the album, I just knew that they were going to be phenomenal, and
Yeah.
I mean just how they were starting to get better and better and better and better right in front of me, and it was just an unbelievable experience.
I can only imagine. I can only imagine. So you've also written classics like "I'm Chilling" and "Colorblind." See, "Colorblind," man, I don't know if you remember when I sent you some footage for the show, and I found the Last Supper photo of with Jesus, in the field, and I said I'm colorblind when it comes to Jesus, and so when I found out that the song of your title, the title of your one of your your classics, it just like I was like, man, that's dope. I had to go back go get a listen. So, which song of yours revealed the most about who you really are?
Oh, wow. Um, I would think really it's not even a song. It's really an intro to my first album,
Okay.
Nine Lives and Six Samples.
Okay.
Because when you get a chance to and you're able to listen to that intro, I was very young. I had a lot to say about the world, and
Yeah.
I'm screaming behind the microphone,
Yeah.
putting out my thoughts and stuff.
It's
But for some
amazing.
reason, a lot of people that know me, they always say, "Man, something about that intro slide that is classic. That's like a day counting classic." So yeah.
Awesome. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I got to go back and listen to it again.
Tired of old school cable internet slowing you down? Let Tech Savvy Sales and Marketing Group help you make the switch. We are a leading provider of internet, home automation, security, and TV services, offering high-speed solutions tailored to your needs. Thanks to partnerships with top providers like AT&T Fiber, Vivint, Kinetic Windstream, Brightspeed Fiber, and DirecTV, we can connect you with amazing deals. For example, switching from Spectrum Cable to AT&T Fiber can boost your upload speeds by up to 25 times, providing plenty of bandwidth for smart home devices, streaming, gaming, and work. No more lag or slowing down. Our highly trained professionals offer free personal consultations, and unlike other providers, we go above and beyond with direct communication and doorstep visits to find the best solution, tailored to your exact needs. Call us today to schedule your free consultation or visit our website for more information on our services.
In this life, we gotta go through some things. We gotta go through some trials. We gotta go through some pain. We gotta go through some storms. We gotta go through some rain. This world can drive you insane, but I thank God for everything. I thank God for my life and the sins He's forgiven. Could never ever forget when I was pregnant in prison, when I was down on my luck for making terrible decisions. He had it all worked out. He had a beautiful vision. I thank God every day for this life that I'm living. Being able to make a way to provide for my children. I won't stop till I run up 1,000,000. And when I run up 1,000,000, then I'ma run up 1,000,000,000. Don't believe me, just watch. You witnessing the top notch. And I'm gon' shine cause it's my time like the hands on the clock. As long as God is my rock, number one.